Our Provost, Jeffrey Feiss, will read from the ancient royal charter.
For Jeff Feiss, every ceremony at the College of William & Mary this year has been especially dear. As the college's retiring provost, each was his last. Feiss served as the college's chief academic officer during the past 5 years of strategic growth amidst troubling economic uncertainties. His leadership will be missed.
William and Mary, by the grace of God, of England, Scotland, France, and Ireland, King and Queen, defenders of the faith, and so forth, to all to whom these our present letters shall come, greetings.
He recently sat down with us. He told us about William and Mary's sweet spot.
I think William and Mary has found this kind of sweet spot. William and Mary is the envy of many, many universities. Now, then I look at our finances and I say, how can we be envied? But everybody's hurting. But people say, when I talk to them is, you've got this incredible reputation, you've got this beautiful campus, we've got this kind of perfect size, in the sense that we're large enough to have a significant amount of intellectual and other kinds of diversity, but not so large that people don't matter anymore. We're at a human scale. We're a high-touch kind of place. And we have this strong tradition of, being a great university, of, caring about important ideas. And, we probably overdo our Jeffersonianism, but, it is kind of neat that one of the great early intellects of the American experience, found his place here.
We asked, what makes a great university?
That I view a great university as kind of an ecosystem. I'm kind of an environmental determinist. I believe that environment makes a difference. And so I believe that what we do here is create an environment. A rich environment, rich with possibilities. It's got students, faculty, staff, people with ideas, people who say outrageous things. We create the time and the space and the safety for all those people to try to expand their learning. The truth is, I don't know where, for each individual, that transformative experience is going to take place. And I can't know. It may be in the classroom. I'd like to believe it is. Every faculty member would love to think that it is. But that may only happen 20% of the time. It may happen in a studio. It may happen at a lecture. It may happen in a concert. It may happen in a dorm room, over dinner, playing football, playing Frisbee. I don't know where it's going to happen. I just know that if the environment's rich enough and we have the library resources and the IT resources and there's this mosaic of ideas and concepts drifting around that it'll be you'd have to be a pretty resistant individual to not be impacted by all of that.
At William & Mary, it is about the students.
The students are at the center here. I always used to say, still do sometimes, but it's now become almost commonplace in my psyche, that one of the things that surprised me when I came here was whenever I would have a conversation with the faculty or in a faculty meeting, this was back when I was dean, that somebody would finally say, well, what's the most important thing for the students? And the conversation would literally stop at that moment, and everybody would sort of say, okay, what is the most important thing for the students? And then that would become kind of the core argument that we would work around.
What constitute the core values of this college?
The core values that I believe are really central to this place are, one, the belief that a community of scholars is an important place. And I emphasize both community and scholar, that it is a place where students and faculty and staff alike are all part of the scholarly venture, the life of the mind. So to me what that does is it gives the place an intellectual climate that's pretty serious. I think the kinds of intrinsic values that are essential to scholarship then become part of the core values. They're things like integrity, honesty, respect for other people's ideas, a willingness to hear all sides of an argument, a willing to accept criticism offered constructively. So those kinds of things become that. I think a modest respect for tradition is important because universities are the places, whether by accident or intention, universities are places that are entrusted with the legacy of a civilization. That's part of our job. You know, we preserve those in libraries and you know, digitally. It's our job to make sure that the knowledge that has been accumulated over the last 10,000 years is retained and passed on to the next generation for their use or whatever. It means we have hard conversations. We talk about things that you maybe wouldn't talk about in your front parlor. You know, but that's what we have to do. And we have to do that in order to weigh them in the balance and determine, you know, are these good ideas, are they bad ideas, are they ideas that are appropriate to me or not? And we have to be prepared to offend some people at times with the kind of intensity and subject matter that we talk about. We've been, but I think we'll become even more so, kind of arbiters of the public discussion, because it's not clear where else that's taking place right now. You know, it may take place to a certain extent on television, but even that's getting sort of fragmented and taken over by people who scream at each other rather than people who talk to each other.
Okay, retirement's almost here. What do you do now?
Kind of thinking I'd like to try and get up in the morning, actually have a second cup of coffee and read the newspaper, and then sort of ask myself, what am I going to do that day? So I've got some writing projects I want to work on. I want to learn how to fly fish. I want to hike more. I want to ride my bicycle more. I want to there's a period in my life when I got interested in drawing, and I'd like to spend a little more time using that half of my brain. It's hard to tell. I mean, I'm trying not to map it out, because I think part of what I need is a little less structure in my life for a while.
It shall be called and denominated forever the College of William and Mary in Virginia, and that the president and masters or professors shall forever be called and denominated the president and masters or professors of the College of William and Mary in Virginia.